Hey guys, today is September the 2nd, 2019, and today the dreaded day has come. We have to take all of this stuff out of Sparky's habitat, his indoor habitat, and I dread it so very much. So anyhow, LP is going to be taking down this frame up here for starters, and getting all of these lights out of here and the emitters and all of that is going to be having to be will have to be taken down because it's all dependent on the frame. So that's the first step. So the second step is I'm going in and getting, first of all, I'm going to film this whole thing so I know what I have set up. So I'm going to try to replicate this and put the plants back in the same position that they are. I'm going to put Sparky's little hangout area here, try to get it the same. And you know how it is to try to replicate something, especially like this. And I'm going to save. I know this is going to sound awfully gross, but I'm saving the substrate. To replace all this substrate would be extremely expensive because each one of those blocks of Eco Earth are, I don't know, $3, whatever, for one small block. So basically, I'm going to take pictures, and then I'm going to use a piece of paper, and I'm going to put the places, how far away from the edge that these plants are that I have, you know, over here. I've got 4 plants on this side. I have his habitat so far away from the end piece over here. And I want to try to replicate this. His water dish is so many feet away from the side, and it has to be far enough away from the front here so he can't crawl up the front and fall over on his back. There has to be enough space here, from here to the water dish. And I want the rocks around his water dish again. I use these shims underneath and here along the edge. So he's got, I don't, the rocks, I have to move his rocks away a little bit. I don't want his toe getting caught in between the rock and the water dish, which he's had happen before. And the shims can take and even out the water dish if it gets cattywampus, because the soil does shift. So then he's got a cluster of a hangout area here with his spider plants, and over here, of course, he's got his second habitat. So all of these rocks is going to be coming out, and and then all of these paving, or not paving, but these are terracotta tile that we have up there to kind of add a little bit of height to keep the substrate from going down in between and coming out. So LP is going to remedy this situation by, this is a 2x4 that's here right now. That's a 2x4, which is really not high enough. So he's going to go with a 2x6. He's going to still use the pond liner, which is, this is it. But what he used was a thin pond liner. And when you do something like this, you're better off using a thicker gauge pond liner. So guys, I'm dreading this, but LP doesn't seem to think it's going to be any big deal, you know. So of course the racks has got to go. And then LP is going to be using, because this stuff's expensive, this plexiglass. What is this plexiglass, hon? How much, is it 1/4 of an inch?
It's a 1/4 inch, 4x8 sheet.
This is a 1/4 inch, 4x8 sheet.
The last time we bought it was $125.
Yeah, the last time we bought it was $125. And it's hard to work with. You've got to have a special saw. in order to cut it. So we're going to use this, and I'm just going to wash it, and all of the scratches is going to have to stay put because I haven't buffed them out, which I would have liked to, but it's just too time consuming to have to worry about that, and I don't think Sparky cares that much. I do, but I don't think Sparky does. Main thing is I need to wash the glass with non-toxic stuff, a non-toxic soap or vinegar water. So that's what I go with Sparky's. Nothing toxic. So as you can see, this area here, the 2x4 is just not high enough, and the Eco Earth substrate can go down and then go in between like it's done here and come out on the floor. So LP is going to remedy that by making it a 2x6. So that's it. So the next phase, I will show you the rest. Okay, LP has gotten everything off the top. Now you can get a shot of Sparky's pen.
Got one screw that don't want to come out.
Uh-oh. LP has got one screw that doesn't want to come out. Sparky drags his Eco Earth into the water dish. Well, guys, now we're down to the sides are gone on this. Oh. See, what I plan on doing is the substrate kept going down as it deteriorated, and you can see the Eco Earth here. So basically, most all this substrate through the whole thing, I am going to take and move all the substrate over onto this side that Sparky doesn't use that much. And then I'm going to put fresh Eco Earth on this other half over here where he mostly hangs out. He really doesn't use this side over here all that much. But he does use it some. So I'm going to have more thickness of the Eco Earth. And I'm still, I'm going to need Eco Earth, to add to it. But this is like an ecosystem. There is a lot of roly-polies and little fish and worms, and there's life in here. So it is kind of like an ecosystem that I'm not going to disrupt. Everything is going to stay, but the Eco Earth is just going to be all scooted to this one side over here. And that way it will double the thickness of the Eco Earth, which should be at least 4 to 6 inches. And that'll bring it up to around that. Here comes Sparky's new habitat that LP made to make life simpler, to do the transition. Let me know if you need any help. He's already said no. I just hold the door. And this is a 2x6 plywood bottom. Huh?
3 by 7'6".
No, I'm saying this is a 2x6 sides, and the plywood on the bottom is what?
3/8.
And the plywood on the bottom is 3/8, and this is 3 foot by 8 foot base for
3 foot by 7'6".
3 foot by 7'6" base for Sparky's new terrarium.